In a world like none other, there comes one man in search of plastic, in search of cons. He is known as Plasticon. Join him as he brings toys from another dimension to a household near you.
Hey guys, Plasticon here. How's it going? I think I'm going to do something really interesting today, and no, it's not eating an entire bag of Skittles, as much as everybody would probably love to see that. Set those to the side. I am going to do a unboxing of this Kids Connection type of robot toy that I got recently. It's a pretty interesting piece. If you guys have never seen this before, this is actually a toy that you can get at Walmart. I myself have been doing a lot of customs. If you guys know me, I do custom toys all the time. And this happens to be probably one of the coolest, I'd say, affordable robots that's on the market right now. You can get this relatively for 25 bucks at Walmart. I do know in the UK there's a different variant of this, and it's like 25 bucks in whatever their equivalence is over there. Find that kind of cool and kind of interesting. But I figured I would do a unboxing of this thing and show you guys what this thing's all about and how cool it is. I thought about doing a full review, but to be honest, I want to turn this into the custom that I want to do, and I've also got another one that I've already customized that I'll end up doing reviews in the future. But I kind of wanted to show you guys this kind of live unboxing style and see if you guys would be interested in anything like this, because this is actually a very, very interesting piece. Let me grab my tools real quick. I'll be right back. So I got my handy dandy nippers. Yeah, just to show you guys kind of how this whole thing here works. This thing comes with 32 pieces. It's got, it does have a transformation to it, so it is technically a transformer. But it's interesting because this thing's pretty much like on par with your guys' Titan size. It's a very, very large robot. Now I know you guys are like, well, you don't like large robots. Well, I have an exception. I've already done one of these as my Primus. This one here is going to get redone as my Unicron. Primarily, they're huge. They're supposed to be big. I want them to be big. I want them to be towering over everything else I have on the shelf. These things should be bigger than any of your Metroplexes. These things should be bigger than any of your combiners, any of your Fort Maxes, any of that. These guys should be bigger than any of them. So in my eyes, this works very, very well because, you know, you guys know me, I like my Hot Wheels scale. This totally fits the bill. When you first get it to unbox this thing, You got a bit of a little flap down here that you have to kind of just undo here. And the other piece of cardboard is actually just kind of cardstock shoved down in this little area. Now if you do look here, it does have the instructions here to show you how to transform it. It's actually such a simple transformation, you really don't necessarily need any of that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this piece here off. Kind of rip it off a little bit, trying to get that, do that out, but it's just because it's kind of hard to get this piece off. It's just a little folded piece of cardstock. But yeah, kind of give you guys a little closer look at what's going on. This is what it looks like. Basically it unfolds and then you pop up the head. This is primarily what the entire robot looks like. It shows like the other figures it comes with, along with the light and sound gimmick. Here on the back is where it actually kind of shows you a little more in depth of what it does. The sword actually comes in two halves that can be put into one big piece. I'll show you some cool things you can actually do with that. And then it's also got these swappable gimmicks and stuff like that for all the little figures, because it shows like the figures can fit inside the main compartment and how they're separated and pull off the arms. Now when you do get this, these do take batteries. It's got batteries already included, so it's one of those kind of things. So let's see here. First thing you'll do when you get this is you're going to want to cut this whole strap here, which is a big gigantic zip tie. And it just pulls right completely off. It's very easy to get into. And the biggest reason why I'm promoting this toy is because of the fact that this is a kind of a lost gem. If you guys have never bought any type of knockoff Transformers or something like that, I mean, this thing's does not weigh a ton, but it's also not such a flimsy plastic that you're afraid it's going to break. It doesn't seem to be that kind of plastic. It's very giving. It's got a very, very simple transformation because you don't want to transform it to get the little figures out of it. So the first thing you'll do is you'll pull the legs down. And they're pretty good ratchet. They're pretty rigid. The swords pop off the back, just like so. You just kind of pull it off, and they plug onto these little bits here. I know this thing is enormous. It's really hard to do this, so. But once you do this, it'll actually click into position. And I'll do the same thing for the other leg. And then these spin legs. Now you can notice you can get to the rest of the robots that are actually in here, because it's got a total of 10 of these little guys. The sword itself is pretty good. It's not terrible. Let me get this cardboard out of the way. They are very thin plastic, but not so thin that it's bad, and they'll actually clamp together pretty firmly, actually. And then there you go. Now you got a sword. Now, just a disclaimer. Here on the back of the sword, you got like these kind of triangular bits. What they essentially want you to do when you first get this toy is you don't want to put the sword together yet. It's kind of hard for me to pull it apart now. So, like I said, I played with mine quite a bit, and it doesn't break. You just have to be kind of gentle. But it's got this little triangular part here. This actually fits into, I'm going to raise this camera here up just a little bit. So you guys can see this. And I'm blasting your eyes like the sun, sorry. Let me dim that down just a little bit. It's got these little screws, and these are actually the same triangular thing that this is. So this is how you would essentially get everything out. Now if you're going to get this at first, my suggestion is to unscrew the ones here that are in the chest first. So that way you can get the proper little tool out. Since I have two of these, I actually have the proper tool already took from the sprue. It does have a screw in there, so you'll use this to actually unscrew the robots. And then you got a little screw that comes out. And then you're able to remove the little robot out of the cavity, which is kind of cool. Like I said, it comes with 10 of these, so we're going to venture and pull all these out first. These down here, though, you have to just cut these little zip ties to get them out, because they're not, these guys aren't actually bolted in like the other ones, which these guys can fit into the cavity of the robot as well, whenever you get everything pulled apart. It's got enough room in there to put like a total of 6 of these little guys in there. The other 4 would have to go on the arms and be bolted back on if you're going to, you know, use this in its transport mode. The transport mode is pretty cool, and I'll show you guys some interesting transformations I've come up with this thing, because it just literally, the instructions just shows you to transform it from that one little transport mode to this. There is a cute little commercial I'll insert here now. Yeah, it's pretty neat, wasn't it? Just kind of gives you a bit of an idea of what this may be about. It does have another set of little plastic ties that are in here, but you don't have to worry about getting to these just yet. You'll just get these from the inside of the cavity. But like I said, you just pull all those out. Now what's cool about this is this actually forms more of a, I'll move this down a little bit. Kind of gives you levels, if you notice. You got levels here, so you can actually stand characters on these levels. And it's pretty neat. If you have Transformers, they'll fit. Like if you have smaller ones, this is perfect for that. So if you guys are out there near Magic Square things, stuff like that, this is actually excellent for you guys that want that smaller scale to be able to fit in here. So let's go ahead and continue pulling screws off. Let me dim the sun here, so that way we don't blind you. Oh, might help if I pull the old screw off. Now these you don't really have much you can do with whenever it's in a complete and it's like disassembled mode. I think it's kind of cool that they're like, you know, this, it's an interesting way of transporting little tiny robots with this. And keep in mind, guys, this is only a $25 tool. This isn't your Hasbro $100 and some odd toys or whatever that are big. That's one thing I like about this, is the fact that this is not a official product, but it's also a fun product. That's one reason why I like it. I'm big into knockoff-y stuff, so this is probably one of the best knockoffs I've seen in a long time on the market. So we're going to go ahead and it's got a little piece of plastic here, a little plastic band. You're going to want to snip that. I'll try to snip this in the middle so I can get both sides to come out. And yes, it does have lights and sounds. That was totally accidental, but yeah, it does have lights and sounds. So what you do is you clip that and then slide this whole portion here. You push down on these little clips. Since this is the first time I've done this, it's probably going to be a little stiff at first. There we go. And you just fold this down. And then these little pieces here, you have to kind of just feed through the back. Get rid of them. Little plastic pieces. So like I said, I'm a big fan of little knockoffy robot toys and stuff like that, so I always have been. Ever since I was a kid, I was infatuated with tiny little robot toys. So they disappeared. Oh no, they didn't disappear. They're just stuck right there. Cool. Alright. So, next thing you'll do is you'll just push his head up. His head's on like a soft ratchet type of thing. It goes up just that far. And then you can close this and there you go. There you got the robot mode. I will pull the sticker here off because I don't leave stickers like these on my toys. Some people do. I'm not big into leaving try me stickers on things. I just had to clip my nails. So now I have no nail to grab things. Great. Should have waited on that. They're getting kind of bad. My nails grow really fast, so it's one of those things. I have to like trim them, I swear, like every week and a half. Otherwise I'll catch on things. I have some silly knack for being able to get stickers off without leaving a lot of residue and stuff. I don't know how I developed that, but it's some silly thing I can do now. Alright, so you guys see how you got all this going on here on the inside. In order to get any of that out, the first thing you're going to want to do is take and unscrew the two robots from the inside. And these may or may not pop out immediately, so I have to just push on it to come out. There you go. And now you're stuck with 6 of these little things. Don't really know what to do with those. I have yet to figure out what to do with them. I'm going to use them in custom fodder. I'll show you some kind of funny things you can do with them with the little guys here in a few minutes. But since I do that, that allows the whole tree to become loose. And the tree has got, this is just a screwdriver piece that you're supposed to use in order to get all this out, by the way. I mean, this is loose enough that if you would have opened it up, you probably could have just pulled this out and then just used it. I tend to snip my stuff off, but you can tell I've got a, kind of like a tiny, smaller assault rifle, large assault rifle, kind of a missile launcher, a laser pistol, a bolt gun, an axe, a sword, short sword, and a shield, and a mace. Pretty nice variety. The only thing I don't like is the fact that you can't really reuse this after you've clipped everything off of it. I mean, it does look like it's got like a thing here so you can stand it up like this. So I mean, I guess if you never wanted to take them off, you could leave it and it could be a good background prop thing. So if you're not into using these, but the reason I use them is because these guys are 3mm, so they'll work really, really well with some of your Transformers that don't actually have weapons, like your little tiny Prime Masters and such. These actually work really well with them. And these come out because they're your little missile launchers. They're kind of difficult to get out because I've got big hands. Sometimes, well, not really big hands, but you know, bigger hands. You might want to just set it on the floor to support it to pop these out first time. Just throw it. They wedge in there pretty well, which is fine. Whether something be kind of stuck in there or not. Let's see if I can pop that one out. There we go. There you got the cool. And as for this little stretchy piece here, this is what's actually holding the missiles in to keep them from falling out. That's that little plastic bit that you saw sticking out of the back. I'll just snip it. And then you can pull out your missiles. Now, these missiles, they pack a punch. They actually fire very well. So if you guys want to fire missiles, here you go. Perfect for that. It's awesome that this thing actually has firing missiles. Oop. Put this back in here. They sit inside these little grooves. I mean, they won't really fall out once you've done all this. Now, you guys are probably wondering, what in the heck is the articulation this thing has? Yeah, pretty much, I didn't push this in all the way. It'll actually clip pretty well. But it's got like your 365 rotation here, but they're very soft to tent. It's not like it's going to break, but it does have, like you can, it's very stiff, but you can in between them if you want to. Another cool thing it's actually got is a set of holes here on the side, so you can actually plug the missile launchers into their arm, and they actually plug in. They're supposed to be able to plug in here, which I think what happened is the factory got a little overzealous and didn't make it so that we can actually plug these in there. But it does happen to have shoulder holes here, and it's also got shoulder holes here on the side. So you have a total of 6 places to put the missiles, or the missile launchers. As for the sword, you can use it single. You don't have to use both in one hand. I mean, you can have him dual wield it. You can also do what I like doing sometimes, is the double blade situation. Just got this little notch right here, so what I'll do is I'll insert the blade in from underneath, and then up top, and then try to fit them together. It's kind of hard to do, but you can do it. I've done it before. My other one. And then there you go. You got a double bladed sword, which is huge. I mean, it's big, like enormous. Very cool. I do think it's very, very neat. He does have a little bit of leg articulation. You can. It's a little hard here to see. I'm trying to set our light up again. Turn these sideways like this if you want to give him kind of a bit of a stance so he can actually look kind of cool on the shelf. You can kind of put him in a bit of a walking pose with just taking one of the knees and ratcheting it back a little bit. That's not really going to hold very well. I mean, this guy's really kind of built to be a bit of a brick like your G1 Transformers, which I personally don't have an issue with. That's just me. He does have full split situation too. So that is something you can do with him as well. So if you want him to, you know, do that kind of thing, high kick somebody in the face or whatever. Let's go ahead and get this sword out of his hand. Now I've got it in here. Okay. It's a little easier to pull this apart and put it together if you push the hills all the way through like this. And the cool thing is, this actually fits very well into his hand. These do not fall out, which is great. Another option it has. So you got these. You can actually, like I said, you can use these as wings. So you can put these on his back. Primarily for storage, but you can use them as wings if you wanted. You can splay them out. Just like so. And it's just kind of one of those toys you can use your imagination. You know, these can actually stick all the way up if you want them to, which really gives him kind of a huge presence on the shelf. Like if you had this dude standing up there next to your Metroplexes and all that stuff, I mean, he's big. He's not small. And the biggest reason, like I said, the reason I got him was because I plan on, this thing's going to get a huge custom makeover to be my Unicron. That's what's going to happen. So this guy isn't actually going to have the missile launchers. He's going to have more of the wings and such. I've actually built a set of wings to put on the back of him already, but I'll show you guys that when I get to the point that I'm confident enough to show it off. It's mainly because I'm trying to make sure whatever I'm putting together here will look good and help inspire you guys. I don't want to mislead you all with anything that won't work. But, like I said, it is a bit of a transformer. So, and it's kind of a long video, but that's okay, because I mean it's going to be a long video because I'm unboxing and everything. But another thing I've done with him before, and it's something I had to do to the other one to kind of modify it a little bit, but I was able to actually make a base mode because these actually spin around. You can create a base mode just like this if you wanted to, which is very Star Convoy-ish. And then I'll put this chest piece down and then I'll retract the head. But this kind of gives it a bit of a base mode. You can take these legs and you can move them in if you wanted to kind of give him a little bit more of a kind of an arched in style. There we go. It just works. It's a perfect size for these guys, you know, to be in your base. But since we're kind of playing around here a little bit, so I take my kind of just gives you a bit of a comparison of just how big these guys really are. Pretty good sized toy. And the cool thing is this actually will hold your Transformers can actually stand up in this just fine. So it's got plenty of play places. There is a guy that has done a couple other modes with this, and he's actually doing an upgrade kit for this thing. An upgrade kit's not what you guys think it is. It's one you print out. You print it out onto cardboard. You just remember the how, well, some of the kids that probably don't remember this, but a lot of the Star Wars toys and such back in the day had a lot of cardboard parts to them. And the cardboard parts helped enhance the toy. Well, he did a whole lot of stuff where it actually has like cardboard inserts that makes these actual rooms, and actually makes this like a functioning like command center. And he also has done it so that it turns into a starship. I'm going to show you guys my fan starship mode that I built out of this. It's pretty simple. It's not over complexed, and it works really, really well. It actually looks like a starship, but I primarily just put the legs like this, and then take the arms, and I'll put them down like this so that way it's actually got a place to be able to put like your figures. And then what I'll normally do is take the wings and you can put the wings kind of anywhere you really want, honestly. Like me, I tend to put them here on the bottom to kind of give him some wings to stick out a little bit from the sides. Give him more of a spaceship vibe. He's got like wings that stick off onto the sides, so I mean this could be a spaceship. I mean, look how big and intrusive this thing is. This could be a huge hangar bay where you can actually probably put some of your Transformers in there as a hangar bay. Oops. We're hitting the microphone stand, sorry guys. Yeah, that's one fan mode that I came up with. So I came up with a base, I came up with a starship. I also came up with a thing I call a quad walker, because he's just got like 4 legs. And what I do is I pretty much kind of put him almost in normal robot mode, but then I take the legs and then move these down and then spin them apart a little bit. And now you got a quad walker. Cool thing is I'll normally put these guys here do this upside down. See, Plasticon even struggles with cheap toys. Yeah, I can do this and now use some big beetle dude. Nothing wrong with this. The cool thing is this right here will lift up, and you can open this up, and then you can place some of your figures in here and actually use this as like the command base, like you're commanding the robot from this area. Like there's no reason for this to not work. Like it works pretty great. This is a hidden gem, guys. I'm just telling you, this is a hidden gem. I am so happy to have this. And the cool thing is your little missile launchers will plug in right here. So you can actually have your missile launchers right here, so you can actually launch missiles from this. Your imagination is what limits you on this toy. I can tell you that right now. So many cool things you can do. And like I said, I mean, you can pretty much build this thing in any kind of configuration you really want. If you guys are huge into customizing like I am, this thing is a perfect toy for that. And us being, into Transformers and such, why not? Let's put him back into his robot mode here, and I'll show you off his lights and sounds before we start looking at the rest of the tiny little robots. His lights and sounds are all in the head portion here. So it's kind of hard to see here, but here we go. It's just a few, but you know what? I think it's just enough that it possibly need. It didn't really need much more. I like the fact that it doesn't actually have like a togging gimmick too, which is cool. Now let's go ahead and start looking at a lot of the little dudes that it comes with. This guy here kind of reminds me of Gundam, especially with the head on him. You can maybe almost see a Jetfire vibe from him. And what else is very cool about these toys is they're mix and match. You can literally pull these things completely apart. The arms do come off too, which is cool. You just kind of yank the arm off. So you can literally pull these things completely apart and build anything you really want. It does come with these, which are kind of funny. I think they're kind of supposed to be like a female robot, but honestly, I see more of a Bumblebee or Mickey Mouse thing going on here. It's kind of funny. If you notice though, they do come in 2 colors. So there are 2 different color waves of the same figure. But that's okay because you have a whole lot of mixing and matching going on here. Then you got this guy here. It kind of looks a little bit like one of the Autobots, like Prowl or something. He does have a very reminiscent look of the actual robot itself. Like I said, the robot here, the head sculpt for the big thing really reminds me of Gundam. Like, I don't know what it is, but this head portion here kind of really reminds me of Gundam somehow. I think it's hilarious how they sculpted a smile in his face. I think that's funny. But then you've got these guys that really invoke, this is more or less your, I would say, Mazinger style. This head sculpt is. And you notice they don't always just have, like, you know, a, just 2 hands. This guy's actually got like a pew-pew gun in this. And I'm not sure if this is actually blast. Let's see if they're blast compatible. I think they may be. For my Transformer fanatics out there, and you guys are huge fans of your blast effects. I like my blast effects too. Let's see, let's not use that colors. Let's get a color here that'll stick out. Perfect. And there we go. You can actually use the blast effects, which is cool. Now the larger blast effects, I'm not sure if they'll fit. I don't have any larger blast effects. All I have are tiny ones. So, but that's okay. But anyway, he does kind of remind me of Mazinger a little bit. So that's 2 of them here. Said they're different colored. Very cool. And then, last but not least, you got this guy, which actually has like treads, which is cool. I like the idea these guys have treads. Gives you a little bit of a different vibe. And if you notice, some of them have like a symbol on their chest. Like this, it's got like a lightning bolt. There's another one here. It's got a different thing. Maybe not. Maybe maybe this is what I was thinking of. Was this? But if you notice, this guy's actually got claws. But these tiny little holes here that are on his arms are actually designed for these weapons. These weapons will fit on them. Let me go ahead and snatch one of these little. Let's just pull the little gun off here. You don't have to use clippers to get these off. I tend to, just because it's something I like doing. But, yeah, see? You can actually hold the gun, which is cool. And I think it's neat, because I mean, these guns are usable in so many spots on these little dudes. And I love the fact that these guys are mix and match. You can make solid colors out of all these and then use them as model kits and paint them. That's what I plan on doing. I now have 20 of these instead of 10 because I have 2 of these sets. So it's going to be really fun making all different kinds of stuff, because I plan on making some Gundam, I plan on making some Mazinger. I'm going to make some wild, weird robots that probably, I don't know, come out of some kind of science fiction thing I've seen before. I'm really into this stuff, and I think it's really cool. This thing does not have any decals, so it's literally a blank slate. And for 25 bucks, this is a $25 model kit for you guys out there that love to customize. Or if you're wanting to get your kids something really fun and cool to play with. This time of year, I really think this is probably the biggest bang for your buck. Because, I mean, the fact that you have, like, storage for all your little figures to go in, you know, and then it's a fun toy. It's not meant to be took serious. It's not meant to be tied into some IP. It's its own thing, which is great. Because if you guys were anything like me when you were a kid and you had your converters, you had your Motobots, your Dynabots, your little pullback cars, your little GoBots, some of your knockoffy that's 1G figures, stuff like that. This is literally on par with that type of toy. And the fact that these are really well put together. These are not squishy garbage style. Now yes, the back of them may be hollow, but if you're a customizer, most of you customizers will probably fill that up with hot glue or sculpt it or something like that, and it'll be solid. These things are amazing. And one thing I did want to show off, something I figured out when I was just kind of playing around with these one day. I was like, oh, I want a tank dude that actually has a barrel. Okay, cool. Let me just take one of those little screws like I did, plug it in there. Hey, look, now he's got a barrel. And it doesn't come off. It doesn't fall off. So you got options. And that's what's cool about these guys. They're very, very, very fun to play with. And they're meant to be played. That's the whole point of this. This is the whole point of this whole video, is to show you guys that toys aren't just made to just be decoration. This is a toy you can play with. This is a toy to have fun. It's one amazing piece, and I highly suggest getting one. And if you guys are out there who have 3D printers, imagine the crazy stuff you can do with this thing with 3D printing. I haven't dived into doing that just yet. Most of the stuff I'm going to be doing on this guy is scratch build and paint. But that's okay, because it's my own imagination. So that's just kind of how I see that type of thing. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little look at a very, very odd toy that you guys probably have passed on the shelves many a time in Walmart. And by the way, these are in the Kids Connection area in Walmart. They're not over with the main toys. They're over there with kind of like the kitty or type of toys. If you guys have seen that knockoff G.I. Joe-ish looking set and some of the weird dinosaur thing, it's got all the weird dinosaur Hot Wheelie car things in it, and some of the weird like kind of baby toy type of things or baby girl doll stuff. This thing's next to it. It's weird that they put it there, but they did. They put it there, and this thing is amazing. Very well worth the money. As for the light bleed in the head, that's pretty easy to be fixed. It's literally 2 screws in the back. This is not actually screwed in, this is friction pushed in, so you'll be able to easily push it out if you guys wanted to actually fix the head portion. If you want to completely get rid of all the lights and sounds, it's simple. If you want to change the color of the eyes are actually in a separate piece. You'll be able to pop those out, paint them, put them back in, do whatever you want. This thing has got a lot of capability of being customized, and so worth the money. And if you guys out there want to do, I don't know, what we used to do when we were kids, we had our Shogun Warriors, right? Well, Shogun Warriors had a Voltron, and this Voltron actually had a motorized base that was like a remote control base to it. So could you guys imagine just getting like some random RC car or whatever, make it so it's got a flat platform, and you can set this on it. You can actually drive this thing around like that because it's lightweight enough. It's not gonna drag everything down. And the other thing, the sculpting on this thing is crazy. Like, they didn't have to go to the limits they did, but they sculpted detail even on the inside of the legs, on the backs of the arms. There's detail all over this thing. This thing is riddled in detail. So there was a lot of love put behind the craftsmanship of this toy. And the fact that it's only $25 at Walmart is a steal nowadays. You can't even touch one Transformer for that price. And here you get a huge transforming robot with 10 little swappable dudes that you can do anything you want and create any kind of figure you want out of these. And it's amazing. And they come with weapons, they come with missile launchers, it comes with lights and sound. This is peak for $25. You're not going to find anything better, especially around this time of year. So that's just me gushing over this thing because I actually love this thing. This thing is it's probably my favorite toy I have seen in so many years, just because of the price. The bang for your buck is insane on this. So worth it. But anyway, this has been Plasticon. This has been another quick well, not really a quick unboxing, but a decent little unboxing and an explanation of something that's very neat. If you guys stick around, I'm gonna pop over and show you guys the upgrade kit that this guy made, and then I'll see you guys around. That's it for now. Bye.